I knew something was off the second I saw their shoes by my door again, muddy, careless. Tipped toward my living room like they owned the place. That was the thing about my cousins. They never knocked, never asked, never even paused to wonder if I needed space. They drifted in the way smoke does, uninvited, smothering, impossible to ignore. And that morning, when they smiled at me like I should feel lucky they'd showed up, something inside me finally snapped. Not anger, something colder, sharper, final. "We heard you bought a house," Marcy said as she kicked her bag into the hallway. "So we're moving in to help you get settled." I gave her a slow, steady smile, because my plan was already in motion. They weren't always like this. Once, back when I first moved into my tiny apartment years ago, they were the closest thing I had to family. They'd shown up with pizza and cheap wine, promising to help me start fresh. And I believed them. I let them in. But fresh starts rot fast around people who never leave. My couch became their bed. My fridge became their playground. My home became something they treated like an all-inclusive hotel. And anytime I hinted that maybe they needed their own place, they brushed it off. "We're family," they'd say, as if that gave them the right to take over my life. I put up with it far longer than I should have. And they mistook my patience for weakness, letting their entitlement grow roots. The final straw wasn't loud or dramatic. I found it on Leo's phone by accident, a group text making fun of me. "He's too soft to kick us out. Watch, we'll be in his house next. Free rent upgrade, lol." I stared at those words until they barely looked like words at all. Then I put the phone back exactly where I found it and said nothing. They thought my silence meant I'd given up. They never understood silence can also mean planning. The day I closed on the house, I kept everything calm, my face, my voice, my movements. I told them exactly what they wanted to hear. "Sure, you can help me settle. I'll hire a truck. Meet me at the apartment at 9 a.m. sharp." Their smiles were identical, greedy, relieved, triumphant. They weren't planning to help. They were planning to stay. But the night before, I had already emptied the apartment, every drawer, every shelf, every closet cleared. I left only the things they had dragged into my life without permission: their clothes, their gadgets, their piles of junk. At 8 a.m., the real moving truck arrived, not at my apartment, but at their homes. Paid in full, no return trip. The instructions were simple: deliver everything back to its rightful owner. Porch drop-off if needed, take photos for proof. I was standing in the empty apartment when they arrived at 9, buzzing with energy and expectation. "Where's the furniture?" Marcy asked. "Already at the house," I said. "Everything that belongs to me, anyway." Confusion, suspicion, then offense. "Where's our stuff?" Leo snapped. I slid my phone across the counter. A single photo filled the screen: their boxes, their clothes, their junk sitting neatly on Leo's front lawn. His face went pale. Marcy's too. You had no right." She stammered. "You had no right to live here for free," I said quietly. "No right to plan on invading my new house. No right to treat me like your personal doormat." They sputtered. "Because entitlement always runs out of words when challenged." "You said we could move in." Marcy tried. "I said you could help me settle," I corrected. "And you already did. Your absence is the last part." I grabbed my new house keys and locked the apartment behind me. They followed me down the hallway like angry shadows. "You can't just get rid of us," Leo shouted. "I already did," I said. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't need to. People only shout when they're unsure. I wasn't. When I reached my new house, I stood in the quiet for the first time in years. No shoes by the door. No freeloading laughter. No unwanted bodies filling the air. Just quiet, just mine. That's the thing about revenge: it doesn't always need fire or screaming. Sometimes it's a clean cut, a boundary drawn with absolute precision. Later that night, Leo sent one last text. "Are you serious?" I didn't reply. Silence was the last blade. I walked through my house room by room, feeling the weight lift. Peace isn't loud. It's the absence of them. And after years of suffocating, that emptiness felt like oxygen.